everybody, welcome back to the Hype Mind. You're on with Andrew and Dan, and we got another great topic for you because that's all we bring to the table. Daniel, all right, when I say temper, what comes to mind?
Anger.
What else? Go into detail. Like if you had to define it, in a dictionary.
Right. Temper is someone's speed of emotional response to a situation occurring.
That's pretty solid. Let me actually Google the real definition. If I do this, does the screen vanish, or can you still see me?
I can still see you.
Awesome. Okay, so temper is defined as a person's state of mind seen in terms of being angry or calm. And that's why I want to introduce this word, because a lot of times when someone says temper, people associate it with negativity, right? It's associated with anger, frustration, lack of control over oneself, outbursts, rage, all these negative things, right? That's actually not what temper means, right? And so your definition was pretty close. And I want to open up people's eyes to this, right? Because again, it's like it's defined. It's speaking in terms of their ability to be angry or calm. So you think of temperament, right? It's basically your ability to control your emotional state and your mind. And that's super important because, well, if you associate the word with nothing but negative things, well, you probably aren't going to look at the word much. It's a negative word. But if you understand that this is actually a very important word because it pertains to something that mastery over is critical to having a much more smooth life, then you relook at the word and you actually have a desire to understand it better, right? And so what I'm getting at is temper has to do with your ability to control your emotions, right? Your temperament, how you react to things. And so to understand, to be more aware of your temper or your temperament, now that the word is in a better light, you're able to consciously make a decision to have emotional control.
Absolutely control. Who angers you controls you.
That's true. Yeah. Because if someone hits my car and the first thing I do is get angry, then my temperament is to be rageful, right, and whatnot. But if someone hits my car and I step out and I say, hey, what happened? And they tell me that it was an honest mistake. They couldn't see the light turn red because of the sun in their eyes or something. And I say, hey, I understand. Here, give me your insurance information. Give me your number. Write it down here, right? And I'm very calm and mature about handling it responsibly without losing my temper. Then my temperament is very calm and portrays self-control. And that is a good temperament to have. You have good control over your temper in that case. And that's valuable. That's virtuous. And virtue brings about good in the world, which brings about happiness. So that's where I'm going with this, is if you're not previously familiar with the word temper, understand that it has a deeper meaning than just negative associations, and that control of your temper is to have virtue. It is a it should be a well sought after goal, form of self-control and self-discipline to some extent, because sometimes it's hard not to get angry and you have to bite your lip and tell yourself, no, I'm not going to overreact in this scenario, despite the fact that this is the 10th time it's happened and I just want to explode. So yeah, take this word and think about your own temperament and how you react and what you can do to improve, because, well, because you don't want people to blow up and get angry at you most of the time. I know that causes fear and anxiety in a lot of people. It also causes dishonesty. It stems a multitude of negative reactions. So to be able to control it is super important. Daniel, what thoughts do you have to share?
Oh yeah, I said next time you feel the urge to get angry, to um to lose it, think about what Andrew's talked about, temper, and how regain that control over yourself.
And
And
you
that
could put that into practice.
it's not just for negative, not
Yeah.
just acting in a negative way. It could be positive too.
There's a really simple trick that works effectively, and that's to tell yourself you're going to take 3 seconds to think about whatever you're going to get angry over before you get angry, right? And that can come with the guarantee to yourself that you might still get angry if you really want to, you know. You might permit yourself to get angry still, because a lot of times we want to express our anger, we want to let that emotion out. And so the trick is, right before you let that out, that that outburst occur, you pause and you think, all right, 3 seconds, let me just reflect on what I'm angry about, why I'm getting angry, if whatnot, and then I'll get angry, right? And by the time you've taken those short 3 seconds to say, what am I angry about? Well, I'm angry because they mistreated me. Was that fair? No, like blah blah blah. But in the time you've done that, a lot of times you'll backtrack and you'll think, well, I wouldn't want them to overreact. There might just be a miscommunication. Maybe I can handle this better. That gets the result I want and makes both of us step away from the situation, both feeling good. Because a lot of times you walk away from a scenario where you got angry, and even if you win, you still feel like crap for getting angry. You're like, well, I won and I deserve to win, but I kind of feel bad for screaming at them, but they deserved it, And so there's kind of this influx of success and pride, while also an influx of guilt and disappointment in yourself. And so those short 3 seconds to take the time to ask, you know, why am I getting angry? Why am I feeling this way? What can I do about it? Is there a better solution? Right? Just 3 little seconds
I like that. Using
could
3
make
little
a
seconds.
huge difference, right? That's self-control.
Where you think about it, you control it, right? It's easy to, you're gonna have an emotional response, but it's how you handle it. It's either you have the balloon where you just pop it and let it burst, or you slowly start letting the air out without letting it get out of control.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because you might go from swinging your fist at someone and screaming your lungs out and cussing them out, to simply speaking in a frustrated tone saying, look, dude, I'm really mad, like I'm going to blow up. But at least that's a much more controlled, mature reaction than swinging your fist. And so I encourage you to understand what temper means and how it applies to you, and to practice that self-control, that virtue of self-control, by thinking about the emotion you want to demonstrate just for a little second before you go to demonstrate it. Once we think twice about things, a lot of times we realize that's not actually the course of action that we want to take. It's not how we want to represent ourselves.
No. Not at all.
From all of us here at the Hype Mind, peace.